And we're off and running on Jim McKay, Maryland Million Day. Good day for Gilda's girl, Neolithica, with her usual early speed as well. And in between horses, Lady Zeta is right there with early pace, too. Cluck Cluck settles in fourth, 4 deep backstretch run. In between horses is Skip Through to Fire. Ades in between horses, 2 in the red cap. On the inside, I Can Do It just a tad tight, and trailing the field is she or hers. Down the backstretch they roll, and Neolithica going to flash out there and open up 2.5 lengths at a good pace. Lady Zeta, Gilda's girl, is in third, and Cluck Cluck in the second flight of the blue cap on the outside, about 3 deep as they head into the far turn run. Then it's back to Ade, she, her, hers, I Can Do It, and Skip Through to Fire's tailed off to last. 3 furlongs from the line. Neolithic is up top with a 3-length advantage. Cluck Cluck, Gilda's girl, Ladies out of ridden for more, but drop back a bit. Now with 2.5 furlongs left to go. Neolithica the target. Cluck Cluck is coming with a run on the outside. Here comes Cluck Cluck at Neolithica. Cluck Cluck driven on the outside. Neolithica trying to stay. Cuts that corner. Heads in, ahead in front. Outside Cluck Cluck. Cluck Cluck even terms of Neolithica. They're nose to nose now for the final furlong. And it's Cluck Cluck on the outside and a real fight with Neolithica, who's brave and coming back from on the inside. Neolithica, Cluck Cluck, Cluck Cluck, Neolithica, nothing between them. A thriller in the opener on Maryland Million Day. It's Neolithica and Cluck Cluck, Cluck Cluck, Neolithica. Neolithica from Cluck Cluck. I Can Do It was third, Adi fourth. In the Willow Oaks Farm Maryland Million Maryland bred Distaff starter handicap, it's Neolithica with a thrilling win with J.D. Acosta aboard. Owned by Bush Racing Stable, trained by Kieran McGee, bred in Maryland by Maria Hare. 4-year-old bay filly by Neolithic out of Ecliptical Sparrow by Ecliptical. They're off of the first bet, Maryland Million Turf Sprint. When I Get to Heaven, Tidewater with a sharp break and no chance. Going to mix it up in between horses, too. Had to Have Him will settle back right off the speed. And great ideas in between horses as they move down the backstretch. And Katie's Notion is racing on the outside there as they head on now for the far turn run. And so, down to the inside, it is Headstrong Tidewater, who's eager to go. Tidewater just in front. Tidewater, a length lead around the far turn. Noah chances right there, and When I Get to Heaven sticking with a speed while 3 wide. In the meantime, Had to Have Him will have to come around them out toward the center of the course as they're into the stretch with a 1/4 mile to go. Great Idea and Katie's Notion. About 3/16 left to run. Tidewater willing, Tidewater driven. Outside Had to Have Him, When I Get to Heaven, willing for the battle too in between horses. So it's Had to Have Him now, and When I Get to Heaven to settle it. Had to Have Him with a momentum. Great Idea. Closing on the far outside for a share. Had to Have Him. Had to Have Him to win. The best bet, first bet, Maryland Million Turf Sprint. Had to Have Him. On the May Stables, Great Lakes Stable, John Salzman Jr. trainer, bred in Maryland by Wes Carter. 4-year-old bay gelding by Force the Pass out of Success at Sunup by Million Turf Sprint. Brought to you by First Bet Horse Racing. Get a $200 sign-up bonus. Unlock a $20 bonus for every $100 you bet over your first 60 days, up to a max of $200. Use promo code GET200. Wolfman. And they're off. Irish Hero Mo's perfect. Pays on with that usual early speed. On the inside, El Divino. Nino now moving along to third. So Irish Hero's just in front from Payzone, El Divino. Nino racing third. Little Lance is next as they move down the back stretch. And the Wolfman's not far from the front. Only 5 off his speed. Now moving along to the 4th spot. Little Lance back in between horses. 5th Mo's perfect is in 6th. Delete Savita racing 7th. About 10 lengths off that early speed. Daddy Yankee is racing on the inside. And next is Bill of Rights racing back of the pack, third last Alvy, and trailing the field is Formal Affair. About 17 lengths from front to back and to the far turn. Irish Hero Payzone there on the outside, going a spry pace up front. El Divino Nino is in third. Another 3, the Wolfman ridden along for a little more. 4th, 5 to close in now with 2.5 furlongs left to go. Dolitza Vita racing on the outside. The inside is Little Lance, who's next. And trying to whip around them, Bill of Rights for a share under a drive. Top of the stretch, and it's Payzone resting in narrow lead from the Irish Hero. Center Tech, El Divino, Nino. Extreme outside, Formal Affair is coming alive. Here comes Formal Affair, chugging along to the center of the track. Formal Affair for the back of the pack. Formal Affair and Yedzit Hazelwood. They're clear at the end from Delete Savita. Bill of Rights was third, close 4th there. Payzone trying to hang on to 4th. Sid Hazelwood aboard for the victory. Owned by Corrales Racing LLC, trained by Jose Corrales. Bred in Maryland by Sycamore Halt Thoroughbreds LLC. 4-year-old chestnut colt, Formal Affair, by Catalina Cruiser. Out of our 4th race on Jim McKay Maryland Million Day is the John Deere Maryland Million Turf at 1 1/8. Exacta Trifecta Superfecta Double Pick 3. Scratch 3, Sky's Not Falling. Jockey only 5. Magical Mondays, Jorge Ruiz. 9 will run, Coringa. Then scratch the 10, 11, 12, and 13. Hard Spun Reason for Moneo. And they're off of the John Deere Maryland Million Turf. Good break for Davy Jones. Coringa on the outside, now moving forward up to grab a narrow lead. Here's Goodbye Note settling right off of speed in third. Jack's Legend travels in fourth. Zevon is in fifth in mid-pack. And Magical Mondays Racing Rail. You Know Nothing is one horse beaten. That's Crabs and Beer, who's last of them all into the first turn run. Coringa at a controlled clip. Coringa going to try to slow it down around that turn. Coringa leads from Goodbye Note, and Davy Jones on hold in third to the inside. Jack's Legend up close there in fourth, only 4 lengths off of Coringa. Magical Mondays on the inside. Zevon, You Know Nothing, and Crabs and Beer last. A dozen lengths will cover them as they move down the backstretch now with about 5 furlongs left to go. Coringa, as Goodbye Note tries to quicken that one up from the outside. Coringa, Goodbye Note. Davy Jones 3.5 off them, and Jack's Legend out in the clear, ready to pounce on them from fourth. Jack's Legend now trying to draw in a little bit closer. Another 2 to Magical Mondays. Inside is You Know Nothing. Zevon and Crabs and Beer is trailing the field, heading into the far turn. Coringa from Goodbye Note. Davy Jones, Jack's Legend, patient on the outside. Then on the inside is You Know Nothing. Still has 6 lengths to make up. You Know Nothing trying to work out a trip. One off the inside and roll on in between horses. Magical Mondays 3 or 4 wide, top of the stretch. Crabs and Beer and Zevon. They make the turn for home, and it's Coringa trying to stay on. Jack's Legend on the outside trying to grab Coringa, but Coringa no intentions of stopping. Coringa let loose of the final furlong. It opens up 5. Jack's Legend is second. Then outside is You Know Nothing, just picking up third and trying to run into second. But it is Coringa and Michael Sanchez nursed all the way to whole sway to win a length and a half from You Know Nothing. Then Jack's Legend, Magical Mondays. All Strike Racing, Goins, and trained by Michael Trombetta. $40 try, $94.30 for the dollar superfecta, 9 cents, 9, 7, 6, and 5. Double of 1 and 9, 62.60. Pick 3, $42. Next up, the fifth race, the Glen Angus Maryland Million Lassie. Scratch 8, Divine Intentions, and the 9, Witchiness. Exacta, try, super, double, pick 3, pick 4. In the Lassie. Almost in. One more. Now lined up. And they're off in the Glen Angus Maryland Million Lassie. Barbados Bulldog out first for the lead. Here's Doc's Miracle flashing up. Doc's Miracle from Barbados Bulldog. Rerun table in the early speed mix. 2 Blind Love on the outside racing in fourth up close. And Ginger Snap settles rail from fifth position. Superstitious is 6th. 3 Path down the backstretch runs. Share Success is in between horses. Improving a spot or so as they head past the half-mile pole. God, I Need a Favor racing back of the pack with Noble Status on the inside. Only 8 lengths will cover them into the far turn. Doc's Miracle and neck in front from Rerun Table second. Barbados Bulldog Superstitious on the outside trying to advance under a ride. In the meantime, Ginger Snap saving that ground. Share Success has 5 to make up of the red cap. And they are followed by Blind Love in behind that group. Top of the stretch. They make the turn for home. Doc's Miracle narrow lead. Doc's Miracle Superstitious tries to surge up on the outside. Rerun Table's third in between horses and Ginger Snap is in fourth. Share Successfully driven in fifth. But it's Doc's Miracle. Yedsit Hazelwood, they're hanging on, and they're hanging on to that lead by a length with a 16th left to go. One more try from Superstitious, trying to slip by. Superstitious up in time. Superstitious, Doc's Miracle, close third, Share Success. Ginger Snap, Rerun Table. Superstitious, Jeffy Antolito, 2 wins, minute 12.23. Owned by Eric Reiser, trained by Robbie Bales, bred in Maryland by Nancy Reiser, Eric Reiser. 2-year-old Dark Bear Brown filly by Great Notion out of Slew of Bullets by official prices up. Now, entering the Maryland Million NTRA winner's circle is Superstitious. Late scratch was before last gift. $2 exact at $12. Dollar try $56.90. Dollar superfecta $236.50. 10-2-1-5. Double. $9.10, $9. 9-4 is good for a consolation double payoff. $3.80. Check your tickets. Late scratch 4. Pick 3, $29. Pick in line. And they're off. Coronova going to flash out of there first from Dominguez the Gray, and Tom Hagen asked for some early speed today. They're taken back to Ray just a tad. With the Gray into that first turn run. Who is Dominguez? Leads the way. Trying to bear out a little bit is Coronova up in between horses. Tom Hagen there on the outside. And the last sip from the inside draw. Consultant alongside of that one. Consultant is in fourth. Then the last sip who's in fifth. A length and a half more. Augustin Red, Fight No More Forever. Be Determined racing to the back of the pack with Kings River third to last, and Whiskey and the Jarro second to last, and trailing the field is El Fuego Mas Brillante. Down the back stretch, 5 A's to go. Dominguez, the one to catch. Tom Hagen, eager to go on the outside. Dominguez, Tom Hagen. Dominguez a neck from Tom Hagen. 2 back, Coronova's third as they go past the half-mile mark now. Consultant is in fourth. The last sip inside in fifth. Augustin Red is racing in sixth position. They're followed by Be Determined, Kings River, River. Fight No More Forever slips back to second to last position and passed by Whiskey in the Jarro. And now Fuego Mas Brillante. With 3 furlongs left to go, Tom Hagen takes over. Tom Hagen now up top as they swing for home. Tom Hagen is the leader. Consulted to the far outside, trying to fire up with a run. Also there, Coronoga is hanging tough in between horses as the Last Sip is firing up with a run too. The Last Sip one off the inside, getting a good journey. Tom Hagen just in front. The Last Sip rail run. The Last Sip surging on the outside. Coronova, and also between horses, Kings River is coming too. On the far outside, Whiskey in the Jarro. Whiskey in the Jarro and the photo and a thriller with Kings River. Too tight to call. And next was Coronova and the Last Sip. Official. Beef 9. "20 minutes to the Shamrock Farm Maryland Million Distaff." Whiskey in the Jarro. In the Pharmacy Brewery Maryland Million Turf Starter Handicap. For the presentation, Dr. Michael Harrison. And they're off of the Shamrock Farm Maryland Million Distaff. Green-Eyed Monster showing early foot on the outside to the area's Esro. Esro's on the chase. Here comes Stick with the Colors, moving up on the inside as part of the early lick as well. And to Kissed by an Angel is right up close as they move down the back stretch. In between horses is Safe Trust, only about 3.5 off the leaders. Foxy Jr. on the outside traveling in the clear. Then Onyx 10 is next in line. After Onyx 10 comes Sheila's Or Cloud. Scarifire out wide of the track. Next girl is passed by Spencerian on the inside, and Meg is trailing the field into the far turn run. Some 16 or 17 to make up. Into the turn they roll. Green-Eyed Monster leads 3/4 of a length from the chasing Esro in second. Foxy Jr.'s working forward on the outside from third. Safe Trust out of the rail racing fourth position. And in between horses is Onyx 10 as they round the turn toward the top of the stretch. They turn for home. Green-Eyed Monster to catch Foxy Jr. second. Onyx 10 working hard on the far outside in third as they spin in, and Sheila's War Cloud on the far outside is now in fourth at the 360s, and just holding the lead is Green-Eyed Monster. Onyx 10 looms the threat of the outside. Foxy Jr. right there too, trying to chime in, shifting out of it is Green-Eyed Monster, but here is Onyx 10 who pushes by clean with Yedzit Hazelwood. Onyx 10 in the Maryland Million Distaff. Green-Eyed Monster was second. Foxy Jr., Sheila's War Cloud, and Spencerian. Now entering the Maryland Million, Philly by Street Magician. Out of Chatalani by Rock Hard 10. Onyx 10 in a minute 24.34. 59.20. Next up, the 8th race, the Anne Arundel County Maryland Million Maryland bred turf distaff starter handicap. Exacta trifecta superfecta double pick 3, value pick 5, 12% takeout. In the 8th race, number 2 Pegster is 4 over, 5 Canadian Bear 5 over, 7 Divining Smile 5 over, 9 Osa 2 over, 10 Queries 5 over. Shamrock Farm Maryland Million Distaff. They are off. Last away was Hazelmore Beach. Sluggish start. 5,2 from the far outside, going to fire up with early speed, as to Charmin, and Canadian Bear is in the mix too, and Don't Tell Darren riding that rail to the first turn run. As they round the turn here on the outside, next is Bossy Boots, is 3 wide around that turn. After that comes Pegster, settling 7 off the pace and reading along. Put a Rock in it alongside of that one, then back to Query and Police Woman. Osa is next, then Divining Smile to the rear of the field with Kobe Smile, second to last position, and a slow starting Hazelmore Beach with a lot to do now. Got to be 22 lengths off the pace, and it's a good one. Down the back stretch, and it's Charmin. Charmin 5,2. Charmin a half in front from 5,2. Don't Tell Darren kept right up close there in third. Canadian Bear fourth. Pegster on the inside trying to save something from fifth position. Bossy Boots is next in sixth. Query is seventh riding the inside. They're followed by Put a Rock on it and Divining Smile. As they round the far turn, Hazelmore Beach with a lot to do still. Back to Police Woman and Osa, and trailing the field is Kobe Smile. Into the turn they roll, and Charmin still there with a 2-length lead. Don't Tell Darren full out after that one. Pegster's let loose out of the inside, and Pegster surged up on the inside. Canadian Bear is next. 5,2 in between horses. Divining Smile on the far outside. 3/16 left around there in upper stretch now. Charmin put to the test by Don't Tell Darren on the outside, but Charmin is willing. Yes, at Hazelwood, and Charming, they're in full flight down to the 16th pole. Charmin, Yedsit Hazelwood, a Maryland Million Day Triple. Charmin wins. Don't Tell Darren. And then it was Divining Smile and Query. Charmin, owned by Larry Rebel and trained by Hugh McMahon, Yedsit Hazelwood, Maryland Million Day Triple. 4-year-old Bait Filly by Mosler at a Casablanca Lily by Hurricane Run, bred in Maryland by South Branch Equine, LLC. Now stepping in. $2 exact at $21, $58 $20 try. Double pays $80.20. Pick 3 $97.70. Pick 4 $228.50. Dollar Superfecta pays $515.80. 12, 3, 7, and 10. Next up, the ninth race, exacta trifecta superfecta. Double pick 3, pick 4. The Fezzik-Tipton Maryland Million Nursery. Forrest Boyce on the 1, Lindy Lute. Jamie Rodriguez on the 8, Bud's Notions. Settling. Last one moving in. And they're off of the Fezzik-Tipton Maryland Million Nursery. Big Cuddle was last away. We'll have a lot to do now. Moe's Glitter, the big left, firing out on the early pace as they move down the backstretch. Also moving forward in between horses is Hell of a Hillbilly with early speed. Hell of a Hillbilly now in third. On the far outside is Feel So Right. Inside is Lundy Lute, only 3 lengths from the speed with a half-mile left to go. On the inside is Mr. Supreme. Moe's smoking alongside. They're about 6 lengths from the front. Then it's another 4 or 5 lengths back. Big Cuddle is trying to get underway after breaking last in the field. There's 8 to make up, but is on the move. Then back to Guitar Money. Golden Sand is next. Jessica's Eyes lingering back of the pack. Code of Silence and Live Stream trails the field. They race to the top of the stretch. Hell of a Hillbilly up on the outside to try to challenge for the lead. Right there, too, is Moe's Glitter, who's game and resilient. Moe's Glitter just in front. Lundy Lute closing toward the center of the track. And Big Cuddle has overcome the poor start, is charging hard on the far outside. Can Big Cuddle do it? Big Cuddle does it. Last to first, left at the gate to win. Yedsit Hazelwood with 4. Moe's Glitter was second. Then Lundy Lute and Mr. Supreme. A hell of a Hillbilly. Scratch 9, 10, 11, Mopo, Life, Love, and Laughter, cut from class. 20 minutes to race 10. On the turf, all along course, rail at the zero setting. Big Cuddle for the win picture on Jim McKay, Maryland Million Day. 4 for Yezid Hazelwood. Bay Street Atlas Strong. And they're off of the Maryland Million Ladies, presented by Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance. To set with a good break, and there goes Concrete Phase, and there goes Precious Avery. Precious Avery going to the right for the front, and Concrete Phase will track alongside early in the opening furlong. Atlas Strong over to the inside now, the two-path of the first turn run. Twisette is rating along in fourth. Into the turn they roll, and they are followed on the outside by Bay Street, who's out deep on the course. Worth a Dime to the back of the pack, and All Gas, No Brakes has to pass them all. All Gas, No Brakes, a good 10 to 11 off the front, but the pace is quick. 23 seconds of the opening quarter mile. Precious Avery leads the way. 2.5 in front, then a chasing Concrete Phase, and Twisette is in third. Bay Street is in fourth. Atlas Strong, Juniper Juice is on the inside. All Gas, No Brakes, still 9 or 10 to close in, and Worth a Dime is trailing the field 4 furlongs from the Laurel line. Precious Avery trying to dazzle him out there up front. Slowed it up a little bit, 47, and one was a half mile heading into the far turn run. On the inside is Twisette. Concrete Phase is right there too. They're all chasing in the second flight. Juniper Juice trying to unwind on the inside. Bay Street is next, and Atlas Strong. All Gas, No Brakes. All Gas, No Brakes has to sweep up 4 wide at the top of the lane, and Worth a Dime in the back of the pack tries to pick a way through in between horses for a stretch rally at the 3/16 pole. Precious Avery. Twisette slips through on the inside. Here's Worth a Dime. Worth a Dime now exploding in between horses, and Worth a Dime with a good trip under Jorge Ruiz to the front with a 16th to go in the Maryland Million Ladies. Worth a Dime flashing home to win solid. Juniper Juice was second, and Twisette was third, and All Gas, No Brakes. The 11th race is up next. It's the Milton P. Higgins III Memorial Maryland Million Classic. Scratch the 4 Secret Zipper, 7 Sacred Thunder, 8 Feeling Woozy, 9 runs, all the hard ways, 2 over. And they're off in the Maryland Million Classic. Blue Kingdom bounding out to the front from Hit the Road Jack, then Barbadian Runner. All the hard ways on the outside, 3 wide of that first turn run. Here's Post Time settling off the inside, second to last position, and about 6 lengths off the speed. And Mugatu is the trailer. Midway round the first turn, Michael Sanchez and Blue Kingdom up top. They have the lead by some 3.5 lengths. From Hit the Road Jack in second, Barbadian Runner raiding along on the inside in third, all the hard ways. Post Time is back there with Mugatu. They trail right together, some 7 lengths from the front runner. The opening quarter, very slow, 24-4 for Blue Kingdom. A 2-length lead from Hit the Road Jack. Barbadian Runner saving ground from third position, trying to sneak forward now as they move at 5/8 of a mile left to go. All the hard ways. And Mugatu and Post Time are still side by side of the back, though they're only about 4.5 from the front at this point, as Blue Kingdom strolls through a 50-1 comfortable half-mile fraction. And so into the far turn, Blue Kingdom, 4 furlongs from home, leads the way, almost 2 lengths from Hit the Road Jack and Barbadian Runner. Then all the hard ways is fourth. Post Time has to kick in from the back, second to last still, and 3 furlongs to go, and Mugatu is the trailer. Round that far turn, and it is Blue Kingdom. Blue Kingdom by 2 from Barbadian Runner, trying to fire up a run from second. Hit the Road Jack. Post Time is saving ground and trying to rev up with 1/4 of a mile left to go. Blue Kingdom turns in. Blue Kingdom in the Maryland Million Classic, and here comes Post Time. Wide open invitation on the inside, coming right on through. Barbadian Runner's running a big one too. Post Time! Post Time down to the inside of Barbadian Runner. Blue Kingdom continues to battle, and it is Barbadian Runner and Post Time. Barbadian Runner! Barbadian Runner is beaten. Post Time! Barbadian Runner and Forest Boys from Post Time, and Blue Kingdom was third and Hit the Road Jack. Higgins. For the trophy presentation in the Milton P. Higgins III Memorial Maryland Million Classic, Tom and Chris Bowman and Mary Ellen Tassilo. In our the Fair Hill Training Center Maryland Million Sprint, Twisted Ride off to a very sharp start. Haley's First Notion, good speed too. So Haley's First Notion and Twisted Ride. Head to head for the opening 16th, and Wicked Divine on the chase from third, heard on the street. Here's Slam Notion getting underway. Slam Notion moves up on the outside and only about 3.5 from the front. There followed by Catahoula Moon, Bold Diversion, the gray in between horses. Holy Synchronicity is in the back. Heading into the far turn run now. And Haley's First Notion a neck in front from Twisted Ride. The pace is cooking up front. Slam Notion getting closer to the far outside. 3 wide from third, and Herd on the Street is next, and Wicked Divine is in fifth. Another 2 back at Bold Diversion is next, and the inside is Catahoula Moon and Holy Synchronicity out wide of the quarter pole. The top of the stretch, Haley's First Notion, Slam Notion. Slam Notion on the outside up to grab a narrow lead to Twisted Ride. On the inside, Haley's First Notion, Herd on the Street, even pace in fourth, furlong left to go. 3 across the track. Slam Notion, Haley's First Notion is game. So too Twisted Ride in between horses. Slam Notion has to work for it. Slam Notion edging away late to win under Jevion Toledo. To win over Twisted Ride. And then it was Haley's First Notion, and Bold Diversion picked up fourth. Maryland by Eric Reiser, Nancy Reiser. Official. A pick six today, $11,719.72. Pick six, $11,719.72. And a pick five paid $6,953.80. Coming up, races 13 through 16 from Panama. Presidente Ramon, Panama, racing through Laurel Park, 18 minutes away from that simulcast action from Panama. Slam No Show.